Okay. So last week we talked about people that were afraid to say no. This week we're going to talk about people on the opposite end of the spectrum. And, we could start it off by saying I had a kind of a unique experience. I made a post as a joke. Figured one of my buddies that I frequently joke around with about the Mandela effect and stuff like that. Figured he might see it, I get a little laugh out of it or whatever. It got 1.7 million views
on TikTok.
I can't keep up with what's going on. I learned this week what rage bait is. It's not something I was ever really familiar with, but I'm familiar with it now. That's kind of what I did, but on accident. And accidentally went viral. But, in the title, I'll explain we can explain the meme to them.
Yeah.
But the meme is just the old alarm clock, the brown alarm clock that everybody had back in the 80s.
Made the obnoxious,
they're horrible.
loud beeping.
Yeah. And they still sell them. It hasn't gone away. I put a picture that I got online of that alarm clock in the middle of a white template. Above that template, I said 93.1% of the people in the U.S. population remember having this alarm clock, but it never existed. And below the picture of the alarm clock, I said, it has a Mandela effect. You can't find a single picture of it online, which in itself should have been a joke.
Right, because there was a picture right there.
I got a picture of it right there, man. But I realized that, there wasn't any keeping up with it. There was no need in explaining myself. Even though I'm still feel the urge to explain myself.
Yourself.
But every time I open up my phone, I got 999 plus notifications. I can clear those notifications out 30 minutes later. It's the same story. So the video still got traction. And this isn't me tooting my own horn because I didn't think it was going to happen.
No, I mean, it was a silly
It was silly
post, and it's just went viral.
It took 30 seconds to make that meme.
Right.
Literally 30 seconds to make that meme. In fact, I don't know who made the original meme that I stole the alarm clock picture from, but I apologize. I don't know how well your meme is doing, sir.
Or ma'am.
But my meme is kicking ass over here on TikTok, and that wasn't intentional.
Right.
I was like, I saw that alarm clock. I was like, I want to tell my buddy that this thing never existed. Anyway, rage baiting. Like, I did it as a satire post. It even says it in the title. It says, fake Mandela effect, alarm clock, satire.
Satire meme in parentheses behind it. Yeah.
And satire, to me, not just to me, man, by definition. I mean, there's some really crude definitions of satire that I didn't really realize. It's like smart people fucking with dumb people and making them mad, like big brain people messing with little brain people and getting them infuriated over nothing.
Or purposely putting up a controversial topic that the vast majority of people are going to disagree with you on.
That's right.
Just to get them reacting.
But satire to me was like, this is Spinal Tap. Like the movie This is Spinal Tap was like a mockumentary of a real band. It still has people that are viewing that movie for the first time asking, is this a real band? I should check out their stuff. I've got buddies at Guitar Center that tell me that we still got people coming in, man, and they're looking for a Marshall amp. They're like, it looks like a Plexi 50, but it goes up to 11. Do you have it? I'll pay whatever. And they're like, no, man, that amp does not exist. It's like, yeah, man, Spinal Tap, they had one.
Right.
It's like they also had herpes.
Do you want that too?
Y'all want that too? But so Spinal Tap, This is Spinal Tap was a movie, and it was a very successful movie, but it was a complete satire movie. It was a movie that was produced in a way where the viewer could be like, is this real? But at the same time, it's not really trying to sell you. There's plenty of hints inside the movie.
That is just a comedy.
Yeah, it's just a comedy movie, but it could lead people into believing that there's a possibility that it's real. And that's what satire is to me. Like, so I gave lots of hints in my post that this is a joke. In fact, the hashtags were like joke, fake, just for fun. in the title itself did say satire. So you got those. Then I used 46 and 2 by Tool as the song, which honestly, would have been genius if I'd have thought of it, but it was just actually the first song that popped up, believe it or not. But 46 and 2, referring to the chromosomes, 46 and 2 be a highly evolved human being that wouldn't fall for anything.
Yeah.
And so
the highly intelligent.
So that kind of ended up being part of the joke. But man, there are people out there that wanted it to be rage.
Yeah,
they wanted it to be a rage.
I have that alarm. It's sitting on my nightstand. I'll take a picture of it for you.
And then I get up. I try to tell them, I'm like, yeah, man, this was just satire. This was fake. I put it in the title. Like, yeah, I understand that, but it still upsets me. I'm like, because you want to be upset, man. You're looking to be triggered. You want to be triggered, and that's okay. But you got people out there, like we were talking about last week, that avoid confrontation at all cost.
And then there's
people
keyboard warriors that will seek it out online.
And man, I have been that dude. Now, what's scary about this like rage bait stuff? Because like I've been looking into it, and what's really scary about it is like PR firms will get hired by political. Now bear with me for a second, because this is going to sound very confusing, but this is good information. You should know this. Like everybody out there, especially if you vote, you should know this piece of information, because like it kind of blew my mind. Like political parties will use PR firms to create rage bait against themselves. They'll upload it from the opposing party, and whatever claim it is will be so absurd that even the people that are supporting that opposing party will be like, dude, come on now. That ain't real. Like if you was to see like a post about Trump selling 15 kids and got busted in Ecuador, but he's going to get off scot-free or some shit like that, and then, like some Democrat, be like, hey, we can win this fairly. We don't have to fight dirty type thing. If you see one of those type of posts, and it might not be that extreme, man. These people that are putting these things together are working together with doctors, psychiatrists, shit like that, to make these perfect memes that
are gonna inflict emotion of some sort.
Yeah.
To get people engaging and interacting and believing what they're seeing.
So some people will, it'd be kind of like that sleeper cell type of like a Manchurian type of a candidate type thing where you have this one person that's playing this role, but that one person is going to be the electee or whatever, but he might not even know that there's PR firms out there making memes about him that are fake, but it's in the end, it's going to be in his favor, because it's going to cause his opposition to lose faith in their own party for putting out something that's so blatantly stupid and provable to be false.
Yeah.
So that's what's scary about rage bait.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, they use it on the opposite direction as well. Like,
to make them look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to make them appear like they're on the opposing side of their opponent, whether they are or not. Like they pay people to do all this, to make people believe something simple they see and pass it on and pass it on and pass it on until everybody has seen the meme.
Absolutely. and a lot of it is to make them look good. But if they're trying to make themselves look really bad, it'll always be coming from probably a troll account, like a fake account.
Yeah.
That is putting out ridiculous stuff in opposition of the person that's paying for the content to be created, I guess you would say. But it won't be believable. I'm absolutely positive that they also use it to benefit themselves on the forefront.
Yeah.
But it's also believed that they use it to benefit themselves later on down the road. Just gradually cause yourself to lose a little bit of. There's one thing about spreading dirt. Spreading dirt may cause you to lose faith in somebody immediately. But when you make it look like the other team is playing really dirty and just making crap up, You know, like, and whatever they're spreading isn't true. What is it? You come over here.
Then that draws them in for
That's
the
the doggy.
long run.
That's our puppy.
He's getting whiny.
He's been whiny all day. Okay. All right. So, yeah, what I did, I didn't really expect it I didn't expect it to have any kind of traffic like that, you know? But I definitely didn't expect, we're going to have to do something with him. But I definitely didn't expect it to have this kind of impact, but, just seeing in the comments, I'm like, oh my God, you know, like, I don't know if people are this, you know, speaking of politics, there's a lot of folks in there, man. Like, bullshit, I see the picture right here. If there ain't no picture, how'd you get a picture of it? Like, dude, come on, man. That's part of the fucking joke.
Yeah.
Do you want to look stupid? Do you just want to fight? Or do we really let you vote? And you don't have any fucking common sense.
Right. And the fact is, like, the more simplified versions of the rage bait, I'm sure everybody has seen it. It's like there's not a female name out there. It starts with V and ends with L. And it's just so people can prove someone else wrong. And it's a dopamine booster.
Yeah, it's a dopamine
for the ones that just want to be right. And you're not right in front of a person, so you're more likely to speak up and say what you're. And all it does is boost that video.
Yeah, and to me, that's something totally different. But it does get thrown into rage bait. I'm not sure if there's a term for it or not. But we talked about that the other day. We even actually got a dry erase marker or a dry erase board, and we made something very similar today. You know, like, well, I mean, that was the wrong one, but it was just about the lines in the middle of the road being 10 foot. Now, yeah, the one that I saw was there is no female name that begins with the letter J and ends with the letter N. Now, anybody with a half a brain can be like, I got Jan, Jen, Joanne. How about, Joan. You got Jolene. And then what we got? Julian. Yeah, that's just running through the vowels, man. The vowels being the second letter. We got plenty of opportunities just to be able to prove them wrong. So that would be like whoever the creator is the troll.
Yeah.
But there's no rage.
No, but it's enough that it gets people with that same feeling. Like, this person's stupid.
This
like,
person's
here's
stupid.
a name. Like, I'm going to tell this person right here. Here's one. You dummy.
Yes.
Like, so it gives them a inferiority complex, kind of, is what it.
Superiority complex.
Yeah, superiority. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not inferiority.
Yeah, the viewer, the creator is creating that post with the intention in mind to be corrected.
Right.
You know, like, so like he or she, when he's posting that meme about the female name, he knows that most people, a good 75-80% of the population is going to at least be able to come up with one name that they can drop in a comment.
And I would say a good at least 40 to 50% of those are probably commenting. Of that 70 to 80%.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll get into why they're commenting here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Social media is addicting. All right. But the thing is like that guy knows what the outcome is going to be. With satire, you don't really get that. Like, you're like, what you're expecting, what I was expecting was a few people to laugh and be like, hi.
Right.
You know, blah, 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 blah. But like, no, people actually took it as a rage bait post. That's what they turned it into. And maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like if you put satire in the right there in the title.
And joke. And
joke and for fun and fake and all that shit. Like I would figure that it would be enough for people to be able to like look at it and be like, okay, this guy's just joking around. No, man.
Then that goes into a whole nother level of the social media and not actually paying attention and reading or doing your own homework. Just looking at a picture and what it says around it at face value.
I can tell you right now that these people that commented on, I mean, we're talking about thousands. We got 47,000 comments on there or something like that.
Well, likes. I think it's about
Okay.
10,000 comments.
10,000 comments. So 10,000 comments. I can go ahead and tell you, if I had to break it down per capita, most people owned more alarm clocks than they own dictionaries. So I say something about satire and they're like, what? I'm like, you don't know that word? I mean, it's okay. Like, I don't know all words either. I've got a pretty shallow vocabulary compared to a lot of people I know. But satire just happens to be a basic word that I felt like everybody probably should know by the 6th or 7th grade. But maybe not. I don't know. Another good example of satire when it comes to movies is what, Borat? You just watched this movie with Michael the other day.
Oh God, yes.
I think it's like it left room in people's imaginations to wonder if that guy was being serious or was being real or something, or
if these events really happened to someone.
Yeah. Was it kind of like a mockumentary too? I know I've seen it.
It was definitely in the form of a mockumentary.
Okay. I watched that movie back when I was in high school, and I do remember bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember it like I remember Spinal Tap. Because I watch Spinal Tap once a year. In fact, we're going to watch Spinal Tap tonight. This is Spinal Tap.
I think I've watched it once with you.
Yeah, it's the whole man got herpes.
But we're back to the herpes.
But I love that movie, man. But this I don't want to like give anybody the false impression that I'm not having fun with this post, because I am. I have literally I have probably spent like the last 16 out of the last 24 waking hours. Now I did sleep and I slept a full night, but 16 out of the last 24 waking hours on that phone. Just trying my best to keep up, man. Just trying to respond to people.
I've been spending a lot of time just going through and laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I'm trying, I've released 2 more videos since then, just trying to get some traction away from it. Cause we got some serious stuff over there that I'd like for,
people to pay attention to.
You get a little bit of attraction. That is weird, isn't it? Like you can post some bullshit and enrage everybody.
Doesn't mean anything.
And 1.7 million people like line up. Probably 1.8 million people by now.
Yeah.
Like it's been growing that fast. But like they line up to argue about nothing.
Yeah.
But like
and even amongst themselves and some of the replies and stuff, like
I got a cause. I want something to talk about. I really want to talk about something important or something, or I'm trying to promote a podcast. I got 6 fucking viewers and spent all these thousands of dollars on all this recording equipment and just trying to like see if anybody out there is wants to listen to it, and like
thanks for the few that come over.
We don't want none of that. and that's okay too. I understand. Like I've had people like, I got something going on, man. Me and my band's gonna come out with something on Bandstand. Blah, blah. They're like, I don't like you. Probably not gonna like your music either.
You got to be more likable.
That's what it is. People don't like. I don't like you. I'm not gonna like your podcast either. That's what it is. Maybe I've got a superiority point. Like I just automatically feel like everybody's gonna be on board with what I got going on, because
of course
I'm fucking on board with it.
Because everybody's self-centered now.
But I know what I'm doing. Anyway, social media being addicting. Yeah, I'm joking, y'all. But social media. We were talking about. Me and Courtney both are smokers of the cigarettes.
Yeah.
And we're doing what we can to cut back, and we're wanting to quit, and we're not really wanting to quit as bad as we're needing to quit, But the thing is like we do need to quit. This is some young people shit. Courtney's getting old. She's getting real
right
old.
behind you.
Yeah, and we need to start thinking about our lungs in the future. But we were talking about like, social media is kind of the same way as a drug. It's like I've got a theory. I haven't read this anywhere that I know of, but it's like I've got to find something that I enjoy just as much as I like. I gotta love doing something to replace cigarettes with, and it's got to be a total opposite. Like I got to find something that I enjoy as much as I hate smoking,
and that's healthier for you.
Yeah, it needs to be healthy too, and like, like what am I gonna do that I'm gonna look forward to.
Push-ups.
No,
Jumping
man,
jacks.
fuck all that. Like come on now.
Every time you want a cigarette, I want you to do 10 jumping jacks.
You know, wanting one hand and shit in the other. But you got to find something. Like I really don't enjoy smoking, but man, there's a fear of quitting. You know, and I don't want to like just sit here and like stay on smoking or anything. But I've never even been borderline alcoholic.
Right.
We got so much alcohol in this house because I wanted to start trying to taste bourbon and scotches and stuff
they've
like
been
that
sitting there and
for
barely
years.
ever touched.
Yeah. And, you know, and most of the time when they do get touched, because we got somebody over the house and they want to drink, and I
Or
have
we're
to drink with
having
them.
to go to some type of get together somewhere and
Yeah,
take
we'll
some with
take
us
us a
every now
bottle
and
with
then.
us. Yeah, but I've never been the one that would get stuck with the or struck with the bug or however you want to bit by the bug of alcoholism. But man, I do remember the feeling of getting a prescription of hydrocodones. You know, like by the time I get to the end of that bottle, I was like, this sucks. I want some more.
Yeah.
You know, so I could have easily been addicted to those things. Like it took will not to be addicted to those things, but those things were like so much better than cigarettes. You know, like cigarettes don't do anything for you.
At least they give you some energy for a little while.
Or something. If you want to sleep, they had.
Yeah.
If you want to sleep, we got your back.
If you want to get some stuff done, we got
Your back. We can help you with that too. But like I only bring that up. I'm not trying to promote any kind of drug use at all. But like caffeine, nicotine definitely got it got me in its grips.
Yeah.
But the nicotine is scary because it's like, I don't want to do it. I know it's bad for me, but man, I fear quitting it. And I think social media is the same way.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of folks out there that don't belong on social media. I have been that guy on several occasions. You can ask anybody that knows me that may keep up with what I'm doing. Courtney over here could tell you, but you know,
He gets raged.
I've had 8 or 9 Facebook accounts.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just delete them and stay off of it for about 6 or 7 months, and then I'll come back. I'll create another one. The only reason I've had the one that I have right now for so long is because of the Apex Alchemy, the knife
YouTube
channel. Yeah, and you know, just I met people on there. I needed to keep up with them, or I felt like I did, you know, and I needed a place to keep up with them. But yeah, other than that, man, I can start scrolling and get pissed off real good and quick and in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And then like with my job, I can't do that while I'm working, while I'm driving a truck. So
It's supposed to be your calm down, relax, get time when you're done, and all you're doing is
that's right.
pissing yourself off.
I may drive for 11 hours and then get back there in the sleeper berth, get relaxed, start scrolling, get all nice and pissed off before I try to go to sleep. Now
And then he can't go to sleep because his ADHD like just takes over in his brain. And he's
I'm thinking about
of it.
that shit for 3 or 4 hours. And I can tell that I'm not alone by the comments on TikTok. Because some of these people are miserable. Yeah. I am having fun with this one. I'm not taking it to heart. So if you see the post and you want to fuck with me, that's fine. I don't mind. I'm having fun with it. I'm not going to allow it to get to me, especially since I know I'm in the wrong. I'm taking my responsibility. But the thing is like, man, some folks need to lay the social media down for their own health, kind of like the cigarettes. You know, like
and man, there's actual phobias now for people who can't go without their phones. Like it's a clinical phobia now.
yeah. Wasn't long ago you left your phone at the house. I happened to be off that day. I noticed that you didn't have your phone, so I think I messaged your coworker and let her know that I got your phone. And then I brought it to you at lunch, but like you wasn't the least bit concerned about it.
I was like, oh well.
Yeah, who cares?
I'll get it when I get home.
Yeah, like if that had been me, I'd have turned my ass around and I'd have been late for work. Period. You know, I'm gonna be gone for 3 or 4 days, and that's
Right.
you know that's the tool that I need to be able to talk to you. But those could just be excuses because like people were driving trucks without cell phones for a long time. I survived some adulthood without. I mean, I've always had a cell phone.
Since high school?
Yeah, since about 98 or whatever, but I never used it Never use it. I was the only person I knew that had one. Yeah, I don't know why I got one. I think it's because I had $1 in my pocket. It was burning a hole, and then I bought the phone. It was a Nokia, like
My first
2300.
Nokia.
I think it was a 2300. Whatever it was, it didn't have a screen on it. Like no Snake, no Tetris, no nothing.
Oh no, mine had the screen.
Yeah.
The first one.
So I had that phone. Barely ever used it. Like barely ever used it. Eventually, it was free nights and weekends.
And your peak hours.
Your peak hours. You had peak hours and stuff like that. But
You youngins don't know nothing about.
otherwise, it was 99 cents a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So home phones were pretty popular back then, but I don't even know why I brought up cell phones.
It was me. I was talking about the phobia of people not having their phones, and it's because they've gotten so addicted to checking their notifications, seeing what people said about their posts, seeing how many people like their posts, making sure they're not missing anything on all the various social medias. It's an addiction. It's a habit.
One thing I can say about me is this is the first post that I've ever made on social media, period, that I've actually gauged the likes on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's only because it went viral. And I'm not talking about just viral for me. By the definition, it's viral.
I'm going to contradict you a little.
Okay,
on this
go ahead.
one.
You go ahead.
There's been times that you put out something funny,
Okay.
and you're like, a couple hours later, ain't nobody even laughed at this shit.
Maybe I subconsciously.
You do sometimes.
So, subconsciously, maybe I do. Yeah. But I can't remember. I don't think I have a habit of posting stuff and then going back and checking on the likes. But this post, I have been keeping up with because it's something unique for me. I'm 42 years old. This is the first time I've created anything
That's been viral.
that's gone viral. So it's and even then I didn't exactly have it right. I was looking at the wrong number. I just said something about having 40 something thousand likes, and you were like, no,
You were thinking comments.
Yeah,
and I was like,
comments.
no, that's the likes. We've got about 10,000 comments.
Oh, we do have 40,000 likes.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck you. I got 42,000 likes.
You were talking about comments though, so fuck you.
No, I'm talking.
Oh.
I'm telling everybody out there that doesn't have 42,000 likes. Pick one and suck it. You come up with something. But there was one comment on there. It was like, people they'll post anything for some attention. I was like, I posted this fucking thing for one person.
But somebody said, this dude must be eating crayons or something. I just laughed. It's just sitting around eating crayons.
Somebody said, what you tried to create was that. I said, what I created was a post that got 1.7 million views in less than 24 hours.
Because all y'all are worried about this is the alarm clock.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to tell this too. I've got a friend that I was laughing about this and went to show them. She'll know who she is. But she fell for it too. Whipped that phone out of her pocket just as fast as she could. I was Googling that alarm clock because she knew she had one.
And you already told her it was a joke.
Yeah. And still fell for it. I was like, look, Billy put this joke meme up.
You showed her the meme.
Yeah. And showed it to her. And she looks at it and goes,
oh, no.
And reads it. And it goes, no, I had that clock. And then she's like, it quickly was on Google. And she's like, see, right here, they're selling them for $100 freaking dollars. I was like, yeah, that's stupid. But she was going to prove to me that it really existed. Even after I told her this is a joke.
And I don't want to be mean either then, but I wonder how many people look at it, know it's a joke, and still feel compelled to defend it.
Right.
Which will say, that could be a total different level of psychology that I'm not even prepared to get into. I can understand the ego boost of wanting to be right, the dopamine dump. Hey, I need to be right about something today because I'm going to be wrong.
Maybe it's a fear of thinking you're nuts. When you see something, it's like, am I going freaking crazy? I know they had these.
Yeah, but if you know it's a joke,
I don't know.
If I take a picture of a Coca-Cola can, I put it in the middle of a picture, and people are like everybody remembers drinking a Coca-Cola, but it never existed. It's always only been Pepsi and RC. Would I still get that many people?
Probably.
That would come to the defense no, I got a 6-pack
I've
in
got
the
one right here in
refrigerator
my
right
hand.
now. Is that what's going to happen?
I don't know.
I mean, because I would think that, like, that would be so obvious. Like, you'd have to pick an object that's not part of your everyday life. It's kind of like the Mandela effect itself.
Yeah.
Like it's not. If you ever notice, it's nothing that was crucial into your everyday, regimen,
Yeah.
or whatever.
There's people out there that definitely drink Coca-Cola every single day.
Yeah, but like maybe people didn't play Monopoly every single day, and if they did they study the box and study the Monopoly man to know if he had a monocle or not? But I want to tell you this: I found 2 versions of Queen's "We Are the Champions" that actually end with "of the world." Now, neither one of them would have been on the radio because both of those versions are live, and they sound like shit in comparison. So and I'm just saying.
But if they were doing it like that live, was there ever a recording?
Or did it get cut off?
Right.
Did the radio like there's been oftentimes radio stations will shorten the song to get it to fit into a window.
But that shouldn't be shortened on the album.
No, it shouldn't be shortened on the album. Do we have the album?
No, we don't. But that's what I'm saying. Like they're saying it's not like that on the albums.
Okay.
Is why it's a Mandela effect, because everybody can remember hearing it.
Okay. Well, he has 2 versions on Spotify that you can listen to that do end. Like, both of them are live. One of them's like raw, I want to say is what it's called, is raw. And it's like a raw cut of like them practicing the song. And like one of them is live somewhere. Like both of them end with "of the world," very stretched out, just like I'd remember it. So the only reason I mentioned that is because I can backtrack and say, like, Queen might be that vital to somebody's life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure Queen is somebody's favorite band.
Yeah.
And if it's your favorite band sucks. Which is a pretty good podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like that podcast. I don't agree with those guys all the time.
I agree with the one we listened to today.
We listened to Alice in Chains. They did spit a whole lot of facts. They always spit a lot of facts. But if I'm ever finding myself in disagreement of what they're saying, I always just remind myself of these guys. They defend Nickelback.
Ain't nothing wrong with them.
Alanis Morissette.
Ain't nothing wrong with her.
And Avril Lavigne.
Ain't nothing wrong with her.
And Shinedown.
Or them.
No. There's nothing wrong with any of them except they're not fun to listen to.
Shinedown is freaking awesome.
Not
unless
to listen
you go to a concert.
I'm sorry. She's still mad at me over that. Like, we went for her birthday. We went and watched Breaking Benjamin and Shinedown and Seven Dust.
Yeah.
And Seven Dust started out. Breaking Benjamin was the middle.
And they were good shows.
Really good shows. And then Shinedown comes out and they just start crying immediately. I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. Half the auditorium walked out during Simple Man.
They were doing a lot of fussing and complaining because of people not jumping up and woohooing them.
Yeah, it gets old. It's like he was like, "Why aren't y'all standing up for us? Y'all were standing up for Breaking Benjamin." Like, and Breaking Benjamin never asked us to stand up. It just kind of like that was the vibe. We're operating off of vibes in here.
But I do really like their albums, and I will put them on and blast them.
Well, you're you got one of those Stanley Cups.
No, I do not. And you can ask Carly. I've been all over her over all her stinking Stanley Cups.
Oh, she got a bunch of them? I was going to call you a basic.
Yeah, I'm not falling for the Stanley Cup thing.
There ain't nothing wrong with the Stanley Cup.
Except for the price, and I can...
You only need one of them, though.
And I can get something that will keep stuff just as cold or just as hot for cheaper.
It's funny about the full circle thing because, like, I was listening to somebody... I'm sorry. I was having a conversation with somebody about the Stanley Cups and how good of a job they do. And she was like, it's almost like my husband's old thermos. And I was like, thermos? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I've never heard of it. She's like, you never heard of a thermos?
You never heard of a thermos?
You have?
I have.
Because I got on Google.
My dad, don't you do it.
I got on Google and I was like, there's nothing that's ever been called a thermos that's ever existed.
Shit.
No, I mean, like, dead serious. Like,
no,
you can't find them.
If we wasn't using that phone right there.
All right. Yeah. So like that would be a lie,
Yeah.
right? But,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
That's rage bait.
That's rage bait. Well, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out a way to get them back. And I have went in and tried to follow every single person that's commented on the post, and there's a reason for that. Like, for one, I appreciate you coming in over here and commenting, but secondly, there's more coming, and I need you to come back and comment. So, if you happen to follow me back after I follow you, you might see it.
Possibly.
It helped plant these seeds.
For the new Mandela effects, when you confuse everybody.
I'm not putting satire in another title ever again. Do you have anything interesting happen to you this week?
Not really. There's no mushrooms out. I've tried a couple times.
We did go mushroom hunting a couple times. We found nothing. Nothing. Zero.
Except for some old dried up turkey tail from last year.
Old turkey tails from last year. What mushroom are we going to talk about next?
Let's do honey mushrooms.
Honey mushrooms. I like that. Okay. We'll talk about the honey mushrooms. That'll be this Monday, or
Monday.
The next
Coming up
episode you
Monday.
hear after this one, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we have anything else to drive home? Have we hammered home all of our points that we wanted to make today?
I think so.
Okay.
Y'all have fun with the rage bait.
Yeah, man. And listen, dude, we're going to invite you. If you want to come on the podcast and continue this conversation, you want to talk about rage bait or social media addiction, hit us up and let us know, and we will have you on. We can do it video, hopefully. This is a test run. If you're seeing it, we can do it on video, and we can, do it through some sort of streaming service like StreamYard or
Riverside.
We'll figure something out. Or we can do it by phone call and keep it audio only. But if you want to come on and if you want to come on the podcast and you want to talk about some of this stuff, it doesn't mean you don't have to be an expert.
No,
Just anybody.
We all come across it constantly.
Yeah,
Like, how do you react to it?
yeah. And I will finish up by saying that different days, different Billies, different personalities, different BPDs.
Bipolar.
Border personal. Yeah.
Borderline personality disorder.
That's it. Yeah, we'll react differently. I can see one thing one day. The next month I can see the same thing and remember that I saw it, and it aggravates me one day and I just laugh about it the next day, or vice versa. I could laugh about it the first day that I see it, and then it aggravates me the next time I see
Why
it.
do I keep seeing this? The more I see it, the more aggravated I get.
Yeah. That'll piss you off, man, because Facebook will learn your algorithm. They're like, he looked at this shit.
Oh, that's funny. All these people Googling these alarm clocks are going to have it all over their Facebook forever.
They are. You're welcome. All right. So
I just thought about that. They're going to be scrolling there. There's that damn alarm clock again.
not my fault.
Not at all.
Not at all. I do want to thank the original posters of the original alarm clock thing. That meme just said 85% of Americans had this alarm clock and used it for 20 years or something. I can't remember exactly what the meme was. I
Just talking about them being everywhere.
I ripped the picture off of it.
I changed the words.
I changed the percentage on the fly because that's how percentages come up anyway. Statistics are made up on the spot.
Yeah, and however they want it to go.
93.1%. I had somebody how did you rip that one out your ass? You want a video? Have you?
Do I need to prove that too?
Have you visited my OnlyFans? And there's several people that have offered, I could take a picture the next time I'm over my granny's house. I was like, I can save you some time. You can get online. You can.
There's thousands of them.
There's thousands of pictures on there, and they got cookies online too.
Or what, some of the best one. The reason why they're not all over the internet is because we didn't have the internet then.
No. Yes. The reason why they're not on the internet is because we didn't have the internet back then. That we didn't have the internet when Mona Lisa was painted 500 fucking years ago. I could find pictures of Mona Lisa everywhere on the internet.
Yeah.
Just to think that you couldn't take a picture of a 1969 Chevelle. I mean, it's been the same thing, like a 69 Chevelle SS. Can you not find a fucking picture of that on the internet anywhere? They didn't have the internet back then. Cameras weren't ubiquitous.
We weren't wasting our film.
Yeah, we were going to waste our. I wasn't going to sit there and hold the camera for 30 seconds while it tried to take the picture.
There's some funny ones.
There
Y'all
are
get a
some funny
chance, and you can see this post. Like, it's funny.
Before we leave, since this one is on video, I always say I'll leave a link to this or I'll leave a link to that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my TikTok and I'm going to show you. What? Just a second. I didn't mean for that to happen.
Turn your volume all the way down before you do.
Let's do that. Okay. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go to my profile. Yeah, it is 1.8. That'd be Billy Ford 849.
Usually there's a QR code.
Yeah.
Hold up there.
You find that.
Okay.
1.8 million views and ass ton.
There y'all go.
Yeah, screenshot that or something, and go.
Use your camera.
You don't have to follow me if you don't want to, but you can if you want to.
But you can check out the video and look through the comments. They're pretty funny.
Yes, I mean, it's a field day. And you can take a whole vacation day and just hang out in those comments on that video.
With that social media addiction we were just talking about.
Yeah, I just don't leave TikTok. I mean, because everything else.
He's just now got there and getting used to it.
Yeah, this is my 6th video that I posted.
For a while, I was like, you got to get TikTok. I can't send you anything because you don't have TikTok.
You sent it to me. Sometimes it would open on a web browser.
Yeah.
Sometimes it wouldn't. Like, I was like, Courtney,
I can't do that. I don't have TikTok.
I can't see it. They won't let me watch it without a. But yeah, it's that's that, man. Come on over if you want to. I'm probably sending more people to the podcast through TikTok than I'm actually sending the TikTok to the podcast. Though.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, if you're watching this in the future, your favorite,
over.
Yeah, your favorite podcaster sucks. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, y'all.